Former Deputy Director General of NADMO, also an in-law to the Vice President Abu Ramadan, is back in the news for yet wrong reasons. Meanwhile, the President and founder for Save the Nation for Future Leaders, an NGO, Kojo Atta Apekran, had leveled an explosive allegations against the former Deputy NADMO Director. He accused Abu Ramadan of using state machinery such as Ghana Revenue Authority, the Judicial Service and many more to be intimidating him over his businesses. In an unrelated development, Imani Africa Franklin Kujo has criticized the Electoral Commission for lack of faith for disenfranchising the people of Sal traditional area. Tonight, the Frontline investigate the issues above, plus Franklin Kujo of Imani would speak to the Frontline. I am Kweku Anan, and of course this is the Weekend Frontline, of course coming to you live from this studio here in the capital and across dozens of stations speaking the feed tonight, including Sunyani 88.1 FM. We're live in Western Region on Tadi 99.1 FM, and we're live here in the capital on Accra 100.5 FM, and we're also live in London on GOB TV and radio. And of course, still on GOB radio, you can also get the feed on www.gobtv.tv. And of course, go to TuneIn or modernghana.com on GOB, you'll get the feed. We're also live on the superhighway, of course, YouTube, Facebook, respectively, on which particular channel or link. It's my CTV GH, and then all those links. Tonight you can get the feed there, folks. And agree with you say, na yaba mamu the Weekend Frontline. Na fi yakoji ahome na oso wada na wagye ahome. Na emom hye no so se anadwi eja onza atara me hye kra ekoko. Me backgrounds here reddish. Meaning said tonight adaji ni ploso. We are following multiple developing stories tonight. Of course, we'll try our very possible best to make sure say yednina be go until anadwi menya kwadro ma men kai won tem because me ni brain e bibia wo bia menya kwadro. The Weekend Frontline. Call a friend, call a brother, call a sister, call a cousin, call an auntie, call a mother, call a father, all over, all the way from Boko, where to Himfa, to Upper West, Paga, back to where the capital, Accra, and then to where Ashanti region capital, Kumasi, all the way to where Western region, to Hafasini and beyond, and across the global world. This is the Frontline. Tonight, we're coming to you from various directions. Ya spread the program. Said ebea ubenya binuwiti. Every call TV no so. Menya kwadro. Unya wo TV no so because ebea wo TV ni nya digitala. Mesra wo Go TV. Go TV. Na me catch us say bomodiana purchase Go TV. The Go TV kura so moto on the saying. Me ya sure say be do be 200 impo. Go TV. Uko Go TV so ubenya way nti make us say we struggle to have the program watcher and money how unya wo TV no so because enya digital once be bia e digital o nti say unya wo TV no so a ko Go TV no so then you then click it through sa ubehu CTV, C for capital and then TV, simple. Why? Bibia be kama e dey amount nti uko Go TV no so a ubenya anawa wo TV no so se ni na so enye adwuma mesrawo call YouTube, spend it, dear ben, credits kakra, ewo YouTube ho. YouTube no kwa type it, my CTV, obeko kra neda ho. And until I make a choice, say, brano, oba social media, wa, YouTube, ni Facebook, subscribe it, your link, my CTV GH, you kind of saying, yeah, social media handle, subscribe, or subscribe, yeah. Program ne shas ya pet no win notification na just say bibiano aye kama e dey ama na ne ama adetana kwemu enti wo call YouTube wa obenya wo call Facebook nso the same address my CTV GH bibia be kama e dey ama enti every bibie no a obetimi aye den aha obiom. Of course, The Frontline tonight is coming, plus the interactive segment on the WhatsApp line. WhatsApp line here, 020-297-3461. WhatsApp line 020-297-3461. And Koma ye baby o de wo de befa WhatsApp no so e de aba mesro ma nkomo no eho enye den enye neat enye neat kama na bibia no enye den entoto na kwemu emfa ema na ye na ye hwe se de nioma eko why anadwi a packed show, very packed. Na mo amwo me system no so no, of course mo pe link no ntem me the link no ebremu na monya kwan ahwe bi ntem anadwi assemble ne da ho. We are following up on a very serious matter. Ora Abu Ramadan kano no ye deputy NADMO director sisi oni hobium sisi anam se wakoka vice president campaign unyasa na ni nuaba enedi eware eye vice president. Now enkra yensa aka wa ha kire se allegations akese de abo Abu Ramadan adana Jinapo se ana odin wo manim sa Abu Ramadan kire se Abu Ramadan ya accuse ni se ono use state organizations ni bi ti se the judicial service ena afiso eye GRA Ghana Revenue Authority ede na Abu ede sa edwumakwe ono omo eye according to the allegations ya level against him no or the sa edwumakwe ena odi intimidate enipa bi se be ya sa nipa ni ntimi nya omadwuma e wakonia sa so omo yeso asemi ye gene sen well taman semi bae say ya try fitianapa ewia besibre to speak to Abu Ramadan, but Abu Ramadan has declined to pick his calls. Now allegations in there emusu so papa while beti wasum enti we have as it were ask that those who believe say sa ensamno air kosu ninti no womwa emraha womo ewo studio ha say na ye no mo ebedi sa enkomo no enche kra. On the second issue I follow up on so yes Imani Africa led by Womo President Franklin Kujo also has launched some scaling explosive allegations against the Electoral Commission of some misconduct, including that of the sales of the Yakana Sempo BVRs. Franklin Kujo also had to be a money Electoral Commission also on the South traditional area or voter region or any kwaya Electoral Commission for this empeso so for no omodo omo faso no enya de Imani ebodro so kra. Tonight Imani Africa Franklin Kujo would speak to the Frontline, and then the very issue and also that no so yebeba and so in a jiff nature say the special prosecutor Martin Amidu and what trigger your friend is saying impeachment processes, of course, and we all know what is going on and on enche yeba bebemna yahwe sediam enyoma esi etiewa na before kranwa meba Ghana speaks so no of course yensha no so say enne ubetimi adjoin program na me WhatsApp line no 020 297 3461 020 297 3461 na enyoma aiden atoto ye amo every amino kase is just about 11 minutes gone past the hour 8. This is the Frontline breaking news story.
This is breaking news. Breaking news. This is breaking news.
Great folks, of course, the Frontline breaking news story and all the things that are panning barely 24 hours. Folks, before Ghana speaks, yes, this is the Frontline breaking news story. Tonight, we know many of our viewers and listeners here in Ghana and around the world have picked the news. However, we here at the Frontline are learning. Former Special Prosecutor Martin A.B. Amidu had triggered an impeachment process against his predecessor, Kissie Jabin, accused Kissie Jabin of several allegations, including what he described as corruption, misconduct, procurement breaches, and many more, including trying to say that Kissie Jabin sometimes will set the case and then prosecute the case, according to Martin Amidu. Well, now, what we do know now is that the petition had been sent to the office of the President, Akufo-Addo, and the President had transmitted the petition to the office of the Chief Justice. Following this, the Chief Justice what we do know, and it's Chief Justice also has about 30 days, more or less, to set out the impeachment processes against Kissie Jabin. Now, in this case, the basin is there. And say Chief Justice and Suyeden Ochro Krata or Dema Kissie Jabin, and then Kissie Jabin would have to respond to this. Now, the Frontline would have to put some emphasis on the above case as far as Kissie Jabin is concerned. Now, you would appreciate one thing there. Kissie Jabin triggered Act 15 of the Special Prosecutors Act. Now, if you read the Act 15, the Act 15, which is the airline, the legislative instrument, which of course gives credence to how the office was set. And that act again is the power source if anybody want to trigger an impeachment process as far as the Special Prosecutor is concerned. Now, the powers that establish the Special Prosecutor, any powers that should say that Special Prosecutor is above the law and therefore he cannot be brought to question. The very sad part of this breaking news story ever since yesterday night till now is the state in which some lawyers have taken the preposition out of this, and I'm really, really, really sad for this country. A lawyer for Sabri impeachment process, had not yet been, set off. At least call it about 3-member committee to be set by the Chief Justice, are not yet in process. However, some lawyers have jumped out there in the news market and are trying to cast a slur against the integrity of Martin Alamisi Amidu. And why would you do that? Again, you can also see, sir, some lawyers are now on a premeditated, if you like, have set their own premier facie case, as it were, to judge Martin Amidu as to whether Martin Amidu has the right to do what he did or otherwise. He said, then needless to say, sir, the Act 15 that was fixed in the act that established But there is one thing that cements my job, is whether you like it or not. The enyano mean to me come and no say any minute blink my eye over it. When Martin Amidu was in office and certain things Martin did that was not in tandem with the practices of the establishment, we criticize Martin Amidu. Now, there's so many things Martin has raised in his petition, and you would appreciate some of them. Say, one, the procurement processes that Martin is talking about. And then now make them. Why on earth that Kissie Jabin will procure vehicles, including even bulletproof cars? By law, a dear Bain Nebe establishes that Kissie Jabin would have to ride in bulletproof cars. When the Inspector General of Police is even not driving in a bulletproof car, when the CID officer, chief, is not even driving in in bulletproof car. By the way, what about the National Security Minister or the bulletproof car Mwana? So what is going on here? Ebiom, the question remains, did Kissie Ejabin's predecessor requested the above? So why Kissie Ejabin is doing what he has done, all these procurement issues that Martin has raised concerns about it? Again, go to Martin's office. He questioned Kissie Ejabin's what? His what you call what's that? His recruitment processes. I'm not going to speak about numbers, but I want every Ghanaian at the range of my voice go find out how many lawyers and Omuti Kissie Ejabin office were. Me say how many lawyers and Omuti Ejuma ewo Kissie Ejabin office. That's one. Number two, how many journalists, media practitioners and Omuti Kissie Ejabin office wo Omuti Ejuma. No wudru wa, no we bisa say, no, wait a minute. Is this place a courthouse? And now two, Al Jazeera, and now CNN and BBC. And what are these guys doing there? And first of all, I'm asking those lawyers talking out there, you think Martin Amidu doesn't have what it takes to drive to the logical conclusion to establish whether or not all the allegations raised has no merit? You think so? Given the circumstances of his stature, his knowledge base, and who Martin Amidu stands for, and you think Martin doesn't know what he's doing? Anyway, the Chief Justice must establish the premier fashion. Then we take it up there. Both lawyers of these two parties will stand before the justices and do what? A super clash and bring all there is to for and against. Then the laws governing this institution will tell the story for itself, is it not? So, can Martin Amidu sit to say, or no, what Casimegu Kissie Ejabin so now I find way the manaye? What to be that? Maybe I can't send me check Ghana for Namurefi, na me kaimo. Me Kissie Ejabin on, Mintano. But let me again say quickly to this. Some of the NDC top brass, who for some reasons, Madriam will say, Muni Kissie Ejabin, ebe kosa na akranda na careful. I am repeating, some NDC folks who are behind Kissie Ejabin and try to feed on the stuff of Kissie Ejabin, be careful that you don't end up disgracing yourselves, embarrass yourselves. Now tonight, I am here to ask 1, 2, 3 questions, and I leave it there. Kissie Ejabin comes from the law firm called Cromwell and Associate, which is hanging somewhere here. Mewa. Kissie Ejabin comes from that law firm, correct? Good. I am asking, is the bona fide property of the Debea, that law firm? And I'm asking, what is the percentage of Aremeyaw Anas in the Cromwell and Associates? Kissie Ejabin, do yourself good. Nobody in NDC tell Kissie Ejabin to resign. I've heard that argument coming, but I will say, and I'll crave the indulgence of the NDC. Me kanamo fa go. This Mopesa Muye BBR politics. I am speaking through as a journalist, and it remains that way. May say the NDC will do themselves good to take yourself away from this case. Allow Kisie Jabin to do his own battle. In other words, when Martin Alamisi Amidu was in the same shoe, and why President Adodankwa Akufo-Addo, I didn't see the NDC come on a full ballistic defense in the spirit of the letter, given the circumstances where Martin Amidu found in. NDC for Mukamanu Tumu. I did not see the NDC coming in defense of Martin Alamisi Amidu. Martin fighting the fight and on why now? And I'm saying, if the NDC want to come in defense of Martin, friend saying, Kisie Jabin, may say, Munyek, very careful. Pull yourself away. Other than that, and family, made them better hand the crown, made the big good swam one time. So mupa, because we've picked all the intelligence. But listen to me. And you be beyond Ghana, sabi adbe politics how. The establishment of the special prosecutor, no, it was established under that ally by the two political parties in Ghana's parliament. And Ameyaw. Now the other two maybe one. Kisie Jabin come from Cromwell and Associate. Anas Aremeyaw Anas. The percentage I will Cromwell and Associate and saying Kisie Jabin speak. Another one, number 2. Now guess what? Anas Aremeyaw Anas, company called Tiger Eye, go in to set an entrapment to entrap my Charles Edubwahin, who is the former deputy finance minister. Yes, sir. Great. Tiger Eye question, who was Kisie Jabin to Tiger Eye then versus now? Then versus now. Kisie Jabin was once a former lawyer to the Tiger Eye. Meboa. Number 3, the third preposition then comes. When Tiger Eye entrapped Charles Edubwahin with the money on the table, and Charles Edubwahin picked, and that issue became an issue. Subsequent to this, what happened? Kisie Jabin jumps in and says, I am going to investigate Charles Edubwahin's case, right? Number 4, Kisie Jabin comes back with 14-page document. I have everything. A breaking news story. We'll come back to this issue. Kisie Jabin goes in and establishes 4-page document and comes back to tell us, number 5, he could not what? Make any adverse findings against Charles Edubwahin. Number 6, in the very true sense of this display of power by Kisie Jabin, what do you think Kisie Jabin has done to himself? And may I ask those lawyers out there, would you call this a conflict of interest, or otherwise it may be what? So now do you understand why Martin Amidu is saying in his petition, Kisie Jabin set the case, he goes in to prosecute the case? How dare you? How? As I saying, Anas, Aremeyaw Anas, or your dear Cromwell and Associate, Madel, may say Anas, Aremeyaw Anas, our percentage saying, oh, Cromwell and Associate, come and tell us. And I'm moving to him, dear course. We have all the documents too. Kisie Jabin, come and tell Ghanaians how much of percentage share and Anas was a law firm. Have you worked for that law firm before? Have you worked for Anas before? So how on earth Anas will go and set that trap, take up whatever, then you, the same person, go in there, so we can investigate it. Why would you do this? Why? I dream Ben. Now I will tell you number etoso whatever, I think about 6. Kisie Jabin should tell Ghanaians, did you go to Kennedy Japan's house with wine? I'm not coming to sit here to conjecture, and we are waiting for Kisie Jabin. Did you, together with lawyer Opon, who is now the current dean of Ghana Law School, did you go together with lawyer Opon to Kennedy Japan's house to do what? To beg for this position? And can we say all of this amount to some form of corruption if you actually merit the post? You don't need to beg for it. You don't need to do any machinations on the ground. We know a lot. I am just waiting for the committee to set, the 3-member committee to be set. We all go there. We all go there. Look, some of us, I remain the only journalist in Ghana. No. Apart from Kennedy Japan as a politician, took some aspect to the law court. I remain the only journalist to have crusaded to the logical conclusion about Aremeyaw, about investigative Ejuma. Said, no, this is not investigative piece. I'm sorry. And it's been how many years? Go and check. More than a decade of such a fight. Today, I don't say this for anything, but Anas nimse nenime guase. Because a court of competent jurisdiction has pronounced all his job as there be a criminal intent, fraud, and what? A form of there be money making. And that evil enterprise have been condemned by a court of competent jurisdiction. He thought, no, me. Later, he came back, sheepishly came with a videotape about me. He said, Maji envelope. That useless subterfuge entrapment, when some of us started talking about Ghanaian top, the institutions were not getting the drive. I had politicians who called me and said all sorts of things. I had journalists who were not in aligning what I was talking about. Later, I want to announce the Make Media Commission, and that was where I saw the government of the whole thing say, "Hey, we are not safe." And Media Commission, Ayabuafo, Professor Drigajapo, after morning, and talk about how many of them in their numbers were not getting the whole clue. Yes, that was where finally announced the Mekoe because of his me ban swat, and I said, "You, me no be really pene, oh way." Aremeyaw, ne ye kano ne Ghana for ne ntiasie. How can you investigative Ben and say no anybody can get out there and start giving money and envelope to people and from them and show you to the world, all because your investigative skills and that evil enterprise tiger had exhausted its usefulness. Masa, I'm not above criticism, except that when you come and insult me on one angle and then ask some now, criticize me anyhow you want and go your way. I don't care. Oh yes. What's the meaning of subterfuge? And that entrapment. And all those, and they had Kweku Bako, who today media airspace anymore. No more source, and they use their media offense and charade at the end time cause a lot of havoc in the Ghanaian society. Now Ghana for and the institutions in this country, go and ask him the source of Aremeyaw Anas Nisika or DSA Jumanina. Only the special prosecutor, not on the special prosecutor should have begun his first investigations on Anas Ankasa. Sikano or the investigation, Okonya free. Nano de Mokanye Yon. Into being Kasan Chair said, both the giver and the taker are equally guilty before the law. And then all the money is not the command judges, judges in the GG and the ye Missa said, one Ghana, but down for a yari for we are sick. And I'm on for this and a media grow me. Massa, media, we are politician or we are business, whatever, and for some mammy so, because I'm not scared. Aremeyaw, on when we say yes, he has really met another journalist of a sort. And the no, why and when yam Kisie Jabin, when there baby on enam, there are a lot that we have. Ever since Kisie Jabin became the SP. Now in the coming days, I just want to go and finish my funeral and come. A report of Kisie Jabin, etimia trase, maya je obiasa se, nenetiao, onwa koko shiemu, eno instigate ebusuafo no, momu jiasa obi, mami bi owakọ to retirement, ye jiasa asini free ni sema ye diama Kisie Jabin mo isini dan woso. And Kisi, we nan wo se Ghana yankan yanuntum. I'm not conjecturing, I'll bring the report about how you instigated a family for a land given to Obia what we Tuakano, Yademao, just like that because we are Kisie Jabin. You see, Kisie Jabin wanted to create a certain myth, just like Anas. I told Aremeyaw Anas, Aremeyaw, listen, the myth about you will be broken, and the myth about you will be demystified. You thought we're joking? Now, this is Diagro. The myth about you has been broken, and the myth about you has been demystified. Nothing. She knew. All your foreign partners and the agents, we know everything. We know everything. Let the Western powers use you people against the sovereignty of Ghana. We don't care. We know everything. All your only kweku baku movement. Kise jaben woka home. Come and tell Ghanaians that Bain and one lawyer pon mokoko begi for that post. That Bain. Charles Edubo investigation. You shouldn't have gone there because I knew where Juma. But he was there doing all sorts of things. I didn't know about investigation. Why? Why? And so many things. Now, the predecessor Martin Amidu, all three officers, there were hundreds of petitions already there in the office. Why Kisie Jabin, one question also, now Dimrika jump here, then you started doing what you call selective investigations, including La Bianca, including why Kendall Damwa. We know a lot too. One more AU Sue at the yes Edumano. Huh? Miss Wombeja Aboho. I'm why your uncle, one out to him, uncle debuts, uncle, no whatever, I don't know. Uben Nantebako. You go alone. So we need more. Me too for. You see, me say they will use you and dump some of the lawyers. And I'm in Thomas here. I don't want to go into some things. But let me tell this friend, Samson Ladiayenene of Joy FM. Samson, don't ever behave that you are a repository of all knowledge according to the law. Don't. Samson Ladiayenene of Joy FM, do not behave. So one kwana wako law school. When you came from Love FM to Joy FM, you know. So Samson Ladiayenene, stop the tuno and stop misbehaving. Namunya kisie jaben ma kisinye nedjuma. Muka hubi enende kisie jaben alande ne hu. E was our trouble we mu. Yes, I'm telling you the gospel truth. Samson Ladi Ayenene. Oh yes, sa nasin semisунende women na obia ye na obia twen obia, and so we were once good friends. I don't care. We will tell you people the truth. You know, they form a certain cabal. Ma form a cabal, and ma form a group bia. Mama and said nobody penetrates in. Neither said their momo yano. We should put it to question or we should criticize it. How dare you people? Moya wine. How dare you people? Moya wine. We are all under the laws of Ghana. The airline where establishes special prosecutor. Yanyo meet them. Any yanyo with them. Any yanyo kise jabeni bedroom. We did it in the house of a common ground. Mebwa, all of us we have a say there. Sam Rano. Look, folks, before this day will come, na Martin Alamisi Amidu had given Kisie Jabin heads up over some of the. Look, I have everything. Then Nyoma or the Abetu to Nebini. Or say the office of the special prosecutor OSP is thereby discriminatorily corrupt to the core. Move screen is or say the office of the special prosecutor OSP is discriminatorily corrupt to the core by Martin ABK Amidu. And that one. We na epie minkum na ukomwa in some woman be breakwa. Now to him or say the manner of the arrest of one Kofi Owusu in Kansa, a contestant in the NPP primaries in the Asante Akim Central Constituency in the Ashanti region, who incidentally is the Chief Executive Officer, CEO of the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, and allegedly the main challenger of the incumbent Member of Parliament for the area, Kwame Ayemedu Entry, who chairs the Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee of Parliament that recently landed the budget approval processes of the OSP, gives the perception of the OSP abusing its mandate to interfere in electoral politics. Folks, may the breaking news we be see. It's a developing story. Definitely, I'll bring you the full stuff. But we are just watching the space. What the CJ will be doing in the coming days. Now, the impeachment processes have been triggered by Martin Amidu. We are gauging the space. Saying, "Ena enyoma ebeko ewo honomo na yedni na ede abremo." This is the Frontline breaking news story, folks.
breaking news. This is breaking news.
Great Happiness is Ghana Speaks proudly brought to you by Ora Black Stars located at Ofankor Barrier. Or say, call them for litigation-free land at the various locations. Ube from and Sasia de Bama Ebi Okwabenya Amasaman and Sawum Kaswa Breku Denchira Botiano. Ora Black Star for Ewo Ofankor Barrier ho pepe hono office no more patcher say and Sasia Ebuswa a litigation free and Sembie no to Quasembie including the opus or Mayo wow or Krata at the Mount Ewa Assassin so one be Nina so at the amount Nina no Ora Black Star for a credit on Bejoa way too and since Assassin de Bebri qua Assembie ni ho bomode o from wa asase do plot do our pattern no wo me ni na kama e de amount na afi wetua na kakra o kwa famidin ko na ka chom say kweku na journalist CTV wo mbete so e de amount mani na no aye kama from 053 617 6327 053 617 6327 Ora Black Star for ensas na be ya chro no ene bebia obenya bi kama emanabo. Take a lesson.